This is your Solana Daily Debrief. It's the 7th of June. Bitcoin's doing well, 71k. Ethereum, 3,800. BNB over 700 and Solana at 171. I still think the market cap of Solana will beat BNB, but for whatever reason, maybe just older whales in the game, BNB is doing well. So on to actual news. So Robinhood, accelerating Robinhood's crypto worldwide expansion. They've acquired Bitstamp. I've never used Bitstamp, world's longest running crypto exchange. Topo mentions, still hate them for force selling everyone's soul at the bottom. Stole from the poor and made them poor. Not the Robinhood I knew. Robinhood was also guilty with the whole GME issue. So GME is the stock that Roaring Kitty was kind of all over in 2021. And basically it went to over $500 per share, and you could buy it with Robinhood. And then they started either force selling people's stocks or not allowing them to buy. So not crazy about Robinhood. I feel it's still net positive in a way because it brings more people into the space and it has a very easy UI and easy kind of onboarding experience. Now, Jay points out that Robinhood buying Bitstamp is indicative of a larger shift in sentiment among the suits in very recent memory. The suits being, people on Wall Street that wear suits that are traditionally like, we make money, we make money, we make money, legacy markets. Now it looks as though people are leaning far more heavy towards crypto. Roaring Kitty, who I just mentioned behind GME, is pulling to a live stream tomorrow. And this is a funny little meme. For context, he made like a couple $100,000 and he bought something called options. And then they went to like 150 million or something pretty insane. And he didn't sell. He just held. So he was still up multiples, but he had massive conviction into GME and all this short selling. So what he has, and he didn't launch it, but he basically is now kind of all over GME as a stock meme ticker on Solana. So he scheduled a live stream June 7th, 2024. And what we basically saw as soon as it was announced, it was just like bam. Now, GME's probably going to be worth buying. I wasn't following him religiously, but he had insane amount of conviction. The reason why I was probably a little bit scared is because he also understands that things have to have value, traditionally. But then, of course, he also understands the power of just Reddit and Wall Street bets and all that sort of stuff. So this token's just taken off. And just for context, it's been around for quite some time. Like back here to here, you would be laughing. It was probably a smart move to be buying some, just to set it up as like a DCA on Jupe, to be perfectly honest. Talking about Jupe, there is a Planetary call today, 3:30 p.m. UTC. This one's going to be done a little bit different. Expecting to hear from Solana native communities, such as Geckos, Wencoin, Doland Shrimp, never heard of them, PokeSoul, don't know what they are, and Muay Thai Soul, I've heard of them. Camino has JitoSOL season on Camino with 125,000 JTO rewards. So this is normally you're sitting around $4. So it's a decent amount of extra liquidity rewards going to JitoSOL and Sol LPs every single month. To kick off the cap on the flagship JitoSOL Sol Vault has finally been raised by 10 mil, and Vault depositors are receiving 100k JTO incentives. So that's just with Orca. Orca gets a massive amount of liquidity, which is fine, but like I've said, I'm pretty sure Meteora is going to be the biggest step in terms of liquidity pools, and that's where I want all my liquidity when possible. So this one is new. It's getting 25,000 JTO incentives, so not as crazy, but the Vault's capped at 7 million, and remember, you're earning Meteora points. You're getting the Met points. So if we go over to Camino Finance, go to the website and navigate to liquidity. We can see JitoSOL Sol liquidity here. Right now, the boosted fee's 32%. This will drop, of course. This will drop because, well, one, maybe it's not actually correct based on the TVL. Maybe it is. There are so many things that I'm liking about Solflare Wallet. And one thing is, I actually have the JTO token down here. I've got, $1.60 worth. But what I really, really dig is the fact that I can see the price right there. And then if I click on that, I can go and send it. That's fine. If I make this bigger just with one click, I can see all my assets, go and find JTO, and I can just see everything. There's a couple of clicks, but I can see everything just by staying in the wallet. So at present, $3.58. Quite often it's about $4 though. So I'm actually just going to go with $4 because although it's not $4 now, it will often sit around $4. So selling it when it's not $4, up to you. I wouldn't. So every day at current rates, I'm calling it $4. That's 3,300. We're going to times it by 365, and that's 1.2 million. And that's based on this TVL right here. So that's decent. That is literally 32%. So this JitoSOL and Sol liquidity pool, it's going to have very minor impermanent loss. It's not financial advice. It's just generally how these things work. They've got a heavy ratio of JitoSOL and actual Sol. And I know right now people still, they've got their attention on Sanctum LSTs. I think Sanctum LSTs are cool. Very cool. Ultimately, go and stake with validator.com, of course. But what we're going to see is really money will go where it's treated best. So what I may do now is I may go and take some of this. What do we have here? I want to swap it into Sol, but it's probably not the best example of something. So I'm going to go with some JitoSOL and swap it. Just because Pathfinder Sol, you probably have to do it directly on Sanctum's website. I'm going to go and swap this. If you use the in-app swap, there is a 0.8% fee, which I'm just going to do for quickly. For any small amounts, I definitely am going to use this. If I'm swapping like $10,000 or whatever, I'm probably going to go directly to Jupe. But in my opinion, for good wallets, you want to be helping them out with their revenue because they provide such a great thing. So now what I'm going to do is I'll quickly connect Solflare. We'll connect. Okay, so let's go and deposit. I'm going to deposit 3.3 Sol, single-sided, meaning it's going to swap some into JitoSOL down here. So deposit and stake. Solflare cannot see the actual transaction, but we're going to trust this because we know it's legitimate, and approve and see if this simulation goes through. While that is hopefully going through, let's go have a look at analytics, because this is where we can see that this trades in a range and therefore impermanent loss is not generally a thing. So looking at over 90 days or even over 180 days, we can see at no stage has this ever gone negative. And as you can see, it just stays in this range. If you don't know what I'm talking about here, you can watch other videos on Camino Finance and you can work out about liquidity providing and how range changes. And so your strategy can actually get outperformed by just hodling. So that previous transaction didn't go through, but this one is. So we're going to approve this. It's been able to simulate and it looks like it's going through. Maybe there was just a little bit of congestion or not enough of a priority fee to push it through. So this is now through. We go to my position, give this a little refresh. And we can see we've got $564. We're doing well. And as this actually climbs, we can then just go claim it. We can keep it, we can stake it, we can do whatever we like, or we can sell it and we can put it back into the liquidity pool separately. So right now, this is essentially earning trading fees, which are minimal, boosted fees, Camino points, which for some reason this keeps on disconnecting, but Camino points and also Meteora points. And don't worry about this profit and loss. This will be eaten very, very soon. Of course, when you're going in for liquidity providing things such as this, you probably want to go on for a decent amount of time. But quite often the important thing is to get in early. Get in today. Now just a reminder, Super Team Earn, these numbers get crazier every week. There's some decent earns out there. So first up, we've got Solflare Wallets Create to Earn. I've already highlighted this. I just want to see how many people have entered. There's 16 submissions. Get in, there's $500. This is for a Twitter thread. This is certainly not my skill set. I'm more videos. But if you have the skill set, get amongst it. Alternatively, go for Pith. 9 research and developer bounties live exclusively right now. Click on this and check it out. Developer, research. This is all a little bit technical. Once again, something I'm not going to be good at, but something that you may be. It has finally happened. Wormhole, you can now stake for governance. It's live for W token holders. If you are going to stake, go the Sol Arbitrum route. So Sol to ETH, 0.49 Sol, $84. We're talking about gas fees. And then my guess is you still have to stake it. I actually haven't done it. Maybe I'll do a tutorial today. Sol to Arbitrum, 18 cents in gas fees, and then you're going to have less gas fees again. So if you're wondering why this is a little bit confusing, I actually don't know. So I have to send my W to Arbitrum. So weird. Why did they do this for a Solana token? Yeah, or Base. So you can do it on Base as well. I'm not going to lie, I also expected a solution on Solana as well. So really unsure why it's like this, but it's fine. You get to learn another ecosystem, it's worth doing. Now, as soon as W released staking, it just pumped significantly, and W itself, it went down below like 43 cents, I think, and that would have been a good time to buy, of course. One big reason on, what my conviction is Monad, which is an Ethereum layer 2 solution that's supposed to be able to do 10,000 transactions per second. More on that in a future video, but the airdrop of that should be very decent. And potentially anyone that's staking like 10K tokens or something pretty heavy could be getting the Monad airdrop. I know I'm going to have to do a tutorial on this, so I'll see if I can get one out today or tomorrow. Now onto Sanctum and their cloud token. So this is going to get plenty of attention, and I like cloud. I definitely do. I think right now, as I mentioned, probably want to take some of your LSTs and then move them into Camino vaults, try and get those MET points. but entirely up to you. What the thing is that scares me is that currently this is basically trading on Drift for 50 cents. And I think that's pretty decent. I think nothing's really changed. And let's say this launches within a month. I think whatever this is trading for right now, because it's a perp, as in it's not like whales market, basically it will go lower. It will go much lower. In the end, it'll probably do really, really well. But for the time being, I think it's trading too high. They're just my viewpoints. If you want to go and short it or long it, go for it. But I think there's not a crazy amount of liquidity here. And personally, I wouldn't get involved with this perp market. Now, in terms of airdrops, so if they actually launch before sometime in July, that will actually be included in the active staking rewards as far as I'm aware. Voters are getting 1% of the supply, which just for context, they aren't. They're getting 0.75% because 0.25% goes to the dupe team, but let's just say it's 1%. Then basically that's a decent amount of cloud per one staked and used in voting dupe. At current prices, if you had 10,000 dupe, that's about 430 cloud. Once again, price is too high, long-term super bullish, just telling you my thoughts right now. Jussie has us covered in terms of airdrop program and Galaxy from Zeus Network. So if you have extra time, this is probably going to be worthwhile getting some Zeus, NFTs, whitelist on testnet, rolls, all that sort of stuff. And it's Jussie's top #1 airdrop at the moment. We got some good news from Marginfi. I think they're starting to build up a bit more momentum again. And one really cool thing is JitoSOL has a weight of 75% due to its deep liquidity. So basically, if you go and deposit SOL right now into Marginfi, let's say you put in $1,000 worth of SOL, you can borrow 800 USDC. Traditionally with JitoSOL, you could probably borrow 65%, so $650. Now it's $750 just because there's deep liquidity. Now let's talk about some liquid staking token FUD. The bull market's black swan is going to be an LST smart contract getting exploited. LSTs are fun and useful, but make sure you don't have all your eggs in one basket. So this is true to a very large degree. So firstly, native staking, that's when you literally just go with your wallet and stake with Validate.com. That is the safest form of actual staking. However, let's examine the other side. So Jay from Sanctum mentions how LSTs basically use the same smart contract, 9 times audited, battle tested for years. Yes, there's always a small risk, but there was so much extractable value in the past, meaning it was highly likely that a hack would have happened in the past if it was ever going to happen. And his analogy is, it's like saying all validators on Solana could come together, bring down the network. Yes, it's possible, but about the same possibility of me marrying Ana de Armas. There are other real risks of LSTs, don't get me wrong. I just don't think smart contract risk is a valid one to parade around so confidently. And I would agree with this. The real risk is the fact that the price will depeg sometimes due to a lack of liquidity. And people won't know that they have to just wait one epoch in order to get that full liquidity back. I've done a video on what is Solana rent, how to claim it back, and some wallets have over $100+ worth of SOL to claim. So make sure you're checking out this video, especially if you're changing wallets. Maybe you've got too many hot wallets, you move all your assets to a ledger or something like that, you'll still have probably tens of dollars worth of SOL just sitting there, and it's best to claim it back. There's a new meme coin which has got the attention of one of my researchers, so I'm just trusting his research here. This is Ben the Dog, and you can earn more Ben Dog tokens for pre-ordering and following our friends at Solana Mobile, and you can complete all missions and earn here. It's also on some centralized exchanges as well, but you may be keen to actually jump in and do all these quests, whatever they may be, and start earning some of these. Personally, I don't do these because I just don't have time, and I don't want to shill this sort of stuff on my timeline, but ultimately, at the end of the day, these are the sort of things that when they're done well, they do attract more attention and price tends to go up. Here is a token though, it's 55 million as a market cap. I don't know when it was started, but it looks as though it's been going for a little bit of time and it's done a major run up very, very recently. So up it goes, down it goes, and currently it's up here. Yesterday, the Solana Ecosystem call hosted by Cash was on. Definitely worth a watch. You can see here, you can see it on YouTube as well, but you can see here that this was like where the most number of viewers were, and then they dropped off. So basically, this point here, probably the best thing to watch if you've got time. And it's not live loading for me, but the wins of the month. This is a section which I think is the best if you don't have time to watch the whole thing. There are people asking me about scale still in comments. So just go and join the Discord. I'll have a video coming out, which is what you should do if you're hacked. I hope you never actually have to worry about it, but you should watch it in the meantime. On the subject of meme coins, Hulk Hogan's token plummeted from 17 million to 2 million in just a few minutes after he deleted tweets about the coin. An insider made an insane amount. like almost $1 million, and his selling caused the price to drop by more than 85%. And then Hulk Hogan denies on Facebook and Instagram that today's posts were not from him. So hello family, appreciate your love and support always. Please do not take notice of any posts posted today. They're not from me and will be promptly removed. I'm not entirely sure if it's true, because basically if they were true, they wouldn't have been deleted because a hacker would have had control, and you don't have like a direct line to Twitter. So I feel like someone worked with him, didn't go well, and he's like, I'm deleting them, I'm getting out. But I'm not entirely certain. Now I'm just highlighting Iggy and the fact that her crypto Twitter game is insane. So she's still picking on Vitalik, which is relevant. If people make memes about things because they're funny, completely cool. People go and start attacking like bright minds out there that just have a differing viewpoint, then that's a bit lame, but it's not too common. Either way, there's been a burn of 52,000 mother. You can see that here, and the market cap went over 200 million yesterday. Bobby, who's pretty good when it comes to meme coins, he thinks it's going over $1 billion, but I'm going to cover it a lot less, but I am going to be using it as kind of a template of success. Now, if you go to Dupe, you're going to see a whole lot of fake mother tokens, which makes it very, very hard to buy the right one. This has now been fixed, and hopefully it gets fixed with other meme coins as well. Now, there's also more sentiment to suggest that mother could actually go very decently up. So I should have bought more, and I shouldn't have sold so quickly. Nevertheless, I always think it's always a good idea to try and take money off the table and just be in profit and then leave a small moon bag. So sentiment wise, I think mother is starting to hit the point where people pivot to, okay, this is real, I should get in so I don't miss the last few multiples. There is one major problem though with Iggy. This is essentially potential key man failure or key woman failure. If she gets sick, if she's flying and she doesn't have Wi-Fi, if she just gets burnt out, which is very easy in crypto, then all of a sudden there's the attention gone. There's no more clever memes. She probably has a small kind of social media team that are helping, but if they're just like legally, they're been advised to stop kind of talking about it, then this can all just go away. The community hasn't got to the point where it kind of takes over, in my opinion. Nevertheless, mother to $1 billion, this is starting to come more and more on my timeline. And I have no idea how this was done so fast, but mother merch, it's out. And as we can see, it's been doing very, very well. Now we'll end here with Parcel, introducing tradable rental markets. If you know real estate, there's some potential money to be made here just by trading, longing or shorting the 3 rental price feeds, Chicago, Denver, and USA in general. Okay, so today's actionables, 7th of June, 10 dupes Planetary call today at 3:30. Try Orca's and Meteora's JitoSOL and Sol LP in Communal Finance. I've mentioned them both. However, I'm leaning towards Meteora because you're getting the MET points, and if you use Camino, then you don't have anything difficult that you have to worry about in terms of different bins and removing liquidity, putting it back in, etc. Earn crypto by doing Super Team Earn Bounties. I would encourage you to go and try out Solflare's actual bounty. 1, gives you a chance to actually use the wallet if you're not already doing so, and 2, it's a very decent reward, and there aren't actually many people that have submitted to try and win. DCA Sol as per normal, do Zeus's Galaxy Airdrop quest, and watch my video on how to claim your Solana rent. That's all for today. Catch you tomorrow.